Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here.
Hello and welcome everyone. In this video, we will see who will win in a 1v1 battle between Thanos and Hela. We will take Thanos without Infinity Gauntlet. Because if the Mad Titan has the powerful glove, then it would be incredibly difficult and almost impossible for Hela to defeat him in a straight head-on fair fight. The powers of the Infinity Gauntlet are almost limitless, and this extreme power would certainly allow Thanos to easily defeat Hela. So the fight is fair with Thanos fighting without the Infinity Stones. So let's get into it. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you will not miss an upcoming update. And with that out of the way, let's get started with the video.
Darling, you have no idea what's possible.
Thanos was born on Saturn's moon Titan as the son of Eternals. His brother is Eros of Titan, but Thanos carried the Deviants gene, and as such, shares the physical appearance of the Eternals' cousin race. Shocked by his appearance and the belief that he would destroy all life in the universe, her mother attempted to kill him but was stopped by his father. By adolescence, Thanos had become fascinated with nihilism and entropy, worshipping, and eventually falling in love with the physical embodiment of Mistress Death. As an adult, Thanos augmented his physical strength and powers through his superior scientific knowledge using a combination of mysticism and cybernetic enhancements. He also attempted to create a new life for himself by siring many children as well as becoming a pirate. He finds no fulfillment in either, until he is visited again by Mistress Death, for whom he murders his offspring and his pirate captain. And on the other hand, Hela is Odin's firstborn. When she came of age, Odin appointed her as the goddess of the dead, giving her rulership over the dead in the realms of Hell. Thanos has more brute strength as compared to Hela. Thanos' capacity for inflicting and receiving damage is almost infinite. There are several examples that prove this, such as when in the comics he casually knocks out an enraged Hulk and defeats the Silver Surfer with little to no effort. And in the MCU, we even see him not only defeat Hulk, but also the combined powers of Iron Man, King Thor, and worthy Captain America. But Hela is also ridiculously powerful, able to match Thor in a physical battle. We see her fight and kill the entire Asgardian army single-handedly. Now, as far as intelligence is concerned, Thanos is more intelligent than Hela. Don't get me wrong, Hela is far from being stupid, given how she plots and replots her incessant attempts to seize the Asgardian throne. However, her intellectual talents don't match up to Thanos' ultra-convoluted and somehow always successful plans. Thanos is aware of all the latest developments in science, engineering, and technology, coming up with unforeseen solutions to them in half the time. But Thanos is rather arrogant when it comes to his own intelligence, stating that Bruce Banner is only smart if one considers humanity as a reference. Thanos also surpasses Hela in terms of invulnerability, as a consequence of Lady Death's post-resurrection blessing. Thanos is now almost unbreakable. He can tank energy bursts with the capacity to decimate entire worlds, even from beings like Galactus, Black Bolt, and Odin. Hela's durability, though incredible, can only handle relatively smaller attacks, such as bullets and Mjolnir. Thanos is also much better than Hela in terms of combat skills. In terms of speed, both of them are almost the same. When we are in 1v1 battle, then we shouldn't forget equipment and weapons, as it plays a very vital role during the battle. Although the comic arcs went through considerable alteration in the film versions of the Infinity Gauntlet story, the end result is the same. Thanos has all 6 stones, and thereby controls the entire universe. Nobody stands a chance against him when he has that, not even Hela. In fact, the only useful item available to her is her cloak, which doesn't reinforce her powers as much as simply keeps her from not collapsing. But we should not forget that Hela is a goddess, which gives her access to all forms of Asgardian magic. She can create energy blasts that can kill gods, travel across space and time, and also survive in her astral form due to her physiological resistance to damage. One of her strongest attacks, known as a Hand of Glory, is capable of stripping the flesh off the bones of even divine immortals. In comics, Thanos is also somewhat adept at magic, but they're unlikely to work on Hela. Considering Hela's origin story, it is not unexpected that she has far stronger willpower than Thanos. In the final Gauntlet series, Hela falls in love with Thanos and decides to bring him back to life after Gamora kills him. This act is performed even though Thanos overtly rejects her interest, because Hela cares more about him being alive than the universe's joy at his death. Fortunately, the process is interrupted, resulting in Thanos coming back with a broken mind. As the embodiment of death in Asgard, Hela has some pretty explosive powers. As mentioned earlier, she half succeeds in giving life back to Thanos. She can also literally kill someone by touching them. The really scary thing about Hela is that her powers of death are reserved for mortal beings, not humans and other entities who fall under a different purview. It remains a surprise why Thanos didn't fall for this version of death. So, if these two guys were to fight off against each other, the fight will be too close and goes on for months and even years. The MCU version Hela has her agility and her magical powers on her side, and even though Thanos is one hell of a mighty fighter, the MCU version of Thanos will be defeated by the MCU version of Hela. But if we consider the comics version, then as we discussed, Thanos is quite powerful there, and thus, he would have an upper hand in this battle against the comics version of Hela. And with that, we will bring this video to an end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.